folks, so I just thought I'd share a little autofocus tip for the XM5 camera, which obviously doesn't have a viewfinder, so you're doing everything on the touchscreen, and this is a nifty little trick for utilising autofocus both in stills and in video. And if you stay to the end and you happen to be an XS20 user, or any other camera that has the flip out screen, you can do it with the flip up screens. There's a little function I'll tell you about that allows you to use your touch screen as a joystick, and it's very intuitive, but stay tuned for that one. So how do you set it? Well, let's bring the menu settings up in just a sec. You've got to have a few settings that you're going to turn on the camera, and I've got my notes down here so I don't forget. You're going to need to turn the touchscreen function setting to on, and you're going to need to turn the pre-autofocus setting to on. Now, you're first of all going to do this for stills, because if you're doing this for video, you won't have the pre-autofocus, because video always pre-autofocuses when it's in constant autofocus. So just be aware that you only need the pre-autofocus on for stills only. So it depends which one you're doing for it. And lastly, you want to go to the touchscreen mode and set that to area. Now, when you're actually using the mode, and here I'm going to demonstrate actually me just moving the reticle around the screen. You can have it in zone autofocus or single point, whichever one you want depending on the mode you're in. It'll just follow your finger around and it'll focus on whatever's under it, so it's really good for fine-tuning focus without using the little tiny joystick, which can be a bit fiddly. What you do have to make sure at the top right-hand side of the screen is you'll notice it'll say in sort of white and grey, a little box says area in. If you accidentally tap that, you're going to turn off area autofocus and it'll switch to something like take a photo or lock focus. So make sure that says area, otherwise it won't work. It'll behave very differently because this function can't be used to take a picture, which I don't think it works very intuitively for that. And that's basically it in a nutshell. This lets you, instead of use the joystick, use the touch screen to move your thumb around and focus very quickly on things, whereas with the joystick it can be a little bit fiddly because it's such a small camera, and it's just a really neat way of doing the autofocus. Now, I said there'll be a tip at the end, and the tip for, I shall demonstrate here, because I have an XS20, and you notice we've got a flip out screen and a viewfinder. If you put the camera up to your face to take a picture, you can actually, when you set this up, you can actually run your finger around on the touch screen to move the focus point. However, what you have to do, bear in mind with that, is you have to configure that, and there's an extra setting that cameras that have viewfinders have, which is called EVF touchscreen area, and you can have it for the whole of the touchscreen or just a portion of it. I think it's easier on all of it, and again, it's much more intuitive than the little joystick because it's relative to where you touch on the screen, because when it uses the whole screen, so you know exactly where you are when you're holding the touchscreen, and you can use it like a really good joystick. And obviously on a flip out camera like the XH2S, XH2 and the XS20, it works rather well. It does work on the flip up screen cameras like the XT5, but you often press it with your nose. You're like, it's really difficult because you've got the camera and you're trying to do this. So it doesn't work as well on those cameras. It's mainly for the video focus cameras that feature works. So there you go. A really handy little autofocus tip for the XM5. And for the record, this video was recorded on the XM5. So if you got value from this video, please remember to like and subscribe and click the bell for notifications for the next video. And I'll see you all soon, folks. Bye.